Greetings, Galactic Jedis, Patriots, Freedom Fighters, and Earth Angels. How is everyone doing out there? I hope you guys are having a good day today. Now, today's the last day of November. We are going to be in December 1st tomorrow. In fact, when some of you guys watch this on the replay, it's probably going to be the 1st of December. Very cool. Okay, so we made it this far. A lot of people thought that there was going to be some sort of scary event before November. If you guys remember back in the summer, some truthers were predicting that there was going to be no election and so on and so forth. But here we are now. A very interesting event occurred within the last few days. I think it was Thanksgiving night, but some sources believe it was the night before Thanksgiving because the report came out on Thanksgiving night, and that was that they saw there was sightings rather of UFOs that were flying over the state capitol, but it just didn't happen here in the States. That actually happened in several other parts of the world as well. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, are they the good guys? Are they our own? Are they trying to prep people for Project Bluebeam? They're saying that are they going to start saying that the aliens are here to invade us so that they could, prevent the White Hats from coming into power, right? If they pull off Project Bluebeam. Well, for those that have been following me for a while, Project Bluebeam has been canceled on the positive timeline. Project Bluebeam is only actually taking effect on the negative timeline. Okay, so we're not on the negative timeline, guys. We're on the positive timeline. Now, we do live in a multiverse where there are multiple versions of the Earth that are taking place all at the same time. But bear in mind that right now, as I speak, all of those possibilities are actually collapsing into three possible timelines. So we are already beginning what is known as the bifurcation of timelines. Now, today is the 30th of November. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend with your loved ones and friends. I do want to state an event that took place, or relate an event that took place on this very day, on the 30th. Well, on the 30th in the year 1966, Barbados declared its independence. I didn't even realize that there was a country called Barbados, but it's probably one of those small countries. It's actually an island, according to this article. It's an island nation in the Caribbean, situated about 100 miles east of the Windward Islands, and had gained internal self-rule in 1961 and achieved its full independence from Britain on the day in 1966. Well, it looks like a lot of these small countries or small islands have been claiming their independence from the Britons, right? The Britons, who have been a huge stronghold for cabal dominance for many, many years. Now, I do want to acknowledge all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you can, go ahead and give me a like and share this video if you can. That would be great. I want to welcome everybody that is in the house, all the Galactic Jedis. Thank you so much for being here. For the new subscribers, I am the author of those two books behind me, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, and of course, Our Cosmic Origin. And any updates? No updates. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. So, well, this article came out on the New York, I believe it was New York, and also another news magazine. But I did also receive a transmission from the Galactic Alliance to reveal what's really going on. I think you guys are going to appreciate that intel. But according to what was released in these articles, one of them was the Daily News, another one was the New York Post, and the third one, I believe, was Rice. It was on Thanksgiving night, November 28, 2024. Multiple witnesses reported observing a series of bright lights hovering near the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The incident quickly gained widespread attention, especially given its timing shortly after a significant congressional hearing on unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, and that took place exactly 2 weeks ago. All right. So some expert analysis have offered alternative explanations for the observed phenomena. Okay, so this is coming from mainstream sources, and then I'm going to share with you guys the report that was actually transmitted to me by the Galactic Alliance. So lens flares hypothesis. He's a ufologist. It's called the lens flare hypothesis. Ufologist John Greenwald Jr. suggests that the lights could be attributed to lens flares. They always try to do that, right? They're always trying to cover it up. Just like that crash in Roswell in 1947. They said it was some sort of hot air balloons. A common photographic artifact. Okay, so he noted the Capitol building's lightings has historically caused such effects, leading to misinterpretations like UFOs. And then there was another person, another analyst who said it was an optical illusion, right? So they're proposing that these lights might have resulted from reflections or other optical phenomena, especially given the abundance of light success in the capital area. So, this is not the first time. Let's just be real, guys. This is not the first time that they try to cover things up, right? So, and also in general, this is not the first time that mysterious lights or unidentified flying objects have been reported over Washington, D.C. If you guys recall, back in 1952, a series of UFO sightings, right, known as the 1952 Washington, D.C. UFO incident, involved radar detections and visual confirmations of unexplained aerial objects over the city. These events led to the significant media coverage and prompted official investigations. Now, if you guys recall, the series of UFOs that flew back in 1952 over Washington, D.C., were no other than the Nazis that survived or that were hiding in Antarctica, building out their advanced anti-gravity aircraft and advanced space technologies. And so what they did is they flew over Washington after the incident with Admiral Byrd. If you guys remember, when Admiral Byrd got to Antarctica, they were met with these flying saucers, and they couldn't do anything about it. So what they did is these flying saucers immediately flew over the Washington building in 1952 to let the U.S. government know that the Nazis had literally taken over our country from within, right? That was known as Project Paperclip, and that they had more advanced, superior technologies. Now, the Thanksgiving night incident, right, that just took place a couple nights ago, has reignited discussions about UAPs and the need for thorough investigations. Now, while some experts attribute the lights to photographic artifacts or optical illusions, the incident underscores the importance of confused research and transparency regarding aerial phenomena, especially in light of recent governmental interest and public concern. So a lot of this stuff is coming from these mainstream magazines. All right, I am going to get to the report that was given to me by one of the commanders, who actually goes by the name of Ceres Jordius Hatan, representing the Star League Pleiadian Enterprise. So according to the Daily News, I just pulled it up. This is what the cabal, of course, this is what they want us to believe, right? This is what they stated. An anonymous quarter of gleaming lights above the United States Capitol building have left some people afraid that the alien invasion has finally arrived. Okay, for those that are awakened, you know that this is all about Project Bluebeam. The fake alien invasion, which is pretty much the last card that Werner von Braun revealed at his deathbed, right? That they were going to pull in order to install their one world government. But that's not the case. As I will give you guys the report, you guys will soon see what's actually happening. Now, the photo was taken. Where is this thing? 1 second. The photo was taken at night just outside of Congress with the dome of Capitol Hill in full view. It was taken by a U.S. Air Force veteran, Dennis Diggins, who now works as a licensed tour guide in the Washington, D.C. area, as well as a professional travel director. So the aerial triangulation formation of lights that Diggins captured in his photo seems to hover just feet over the Statue of Freedom at the top of the Capitol Dome. That's absolutely insane, one spectator said of the strange glowing orbs, which look like landing lights on some otherworldly craft. The image comes just weeks after a pair of stunning public hearings in both the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives, where lawmakers probed current and retired Pentagon officials over the state of intelligence on what used to be called flying saucers. The House hearing included a first look at a bizarre, unsettling report alleging that an illegal unacknowledged special access program named Immaculate Constellation has been set up to detect, quarantine, and transfer UFO data away from the public view. But while some were clamoring for this video that might link this new sightings to this wider UFO debate on the Hill, others pushed back on the speculative forum over these strange lights. So apparently this happened. All right, so let me just make a correction. It actually didn't happen on Thanksgiving evening. It happened 2 nights before Thanksgiving evening. So it happened on November 26th, which was on a Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday night in just recently, a few days ago. So that's what they want you guys to believe, okay? On a negative timeline, like I mentioned, they really, really want to start, some sort of, or they want to create some sort of a, last resort event in order to usher in the New World Order, one world government. But it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen, right? So as you guys know, I guess I was going to wait till White Hat Monday to share the good news, but Mr. Putin from Russia is actually already thinking about. I'm sorry. Let me rewind a little bit. The guy from Ukraine is thinking about surrendering. Okay, and again, this was done by the White Hats in order to make sure that we don't go into a nuclear scare or a nuclear war. So, but this is what the Galactic Alliance has to say about this. Are you guys ready for this? So, as you guys know, the Galactic Alliance, which used to be known as the Galactic Federation of Worlds until 2021, before they were infiltrated by Enki, and then later reorganized as the Galactic Alliance, they have been monitoring our world for thousands of years, making sure that we don't destroy ourselves. And so, knowing that we are at the end of the cycle, they have been given permission, you could say, by the Greater Galactic Councils to intervene to make sure that we don't blow ourselves up. So this is a report that was transmitted to me by Commander Georgios Sedes Hatan, who is at the head of the Pleiadian Star League Enterprise, which is a Star Nation organization consisting of our local star cluster, and he also works with the, of course, Ashtar Command division of the airborne division of the Great White Brotherhood. So, in a time of global unrest, this is coming from him, and heightened tensions, we, the Galactic Alliance, which is a coalition of advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, are committed to the spiritual and physical evolution of Earth. So we have taken definite measures and steps to ensure that humanity does not destroy themselves, all right? Because the truth is that whatever 5% is left of the cabal, okay, we hear that about 95% of the cabal has been taken out, and there's like that 5% that is orchestrating all these events. Those are robots. Those are androids. They are negative alien AIs. And I think I mentioned this before. We are truly at war with negative alien invasive AI, okay? So everything that's happening right now, the hurricanes that were modified through, cloud seeding, were all done by negative AI, okay? I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. So that 5% is the computer, is the machine, guys. That is was causing, this scare event, right? That is pushing people into, or governments into, a straight out war. So this intervention represents a direct response, and this intervention from the Galactic Alliance represents a direct response to escalating hostilities that were fueled by what remained of the cabal, which I've already mentioned. It's really the machine. It's really the AI system that's already in place. But for those that are new to my channel, we know that this cabal has been this shadowy organization that has long sought to destabilize Earth through fear, division, and control. Okay, that's what the White Hats have been fighting for thousands of years. If you read my book, The Secret Government, This is an ancient war. This is not just within the last few hundred years. This war is old, older as it gets. Okay, so the Galactic Alliance has made its presence known to the Earth governments, right? Beginning with Eisenhower. That's right. It was Commander Valiant Thor, as well as Commander Corridor, and some of the Pleiadian commanders that were, telling Eisenhower, as well as the other governments, that they need to disarm, that they need to dismantle their weapons. And but back then, of course, due to Truman, the guy before Eisenhower, it was too late. So Eisenhower, he couldn't really do anything, but he did help initiate the positive military program that was then, of course, sealed by no other than JFK, the original, 17th letter of the alphabet. All right, so the Galactic Alliance has made its presence known to the Earth's governments since the Eisenhower days, leaving no doubt that this commitment, or their commitment, to humanity's survival and spiritual evolution is what happens, okay? So one of the most pivotal moments in so one of the most pivotal moments, one second here. Okay, so, oh boy. One second, guys. I think, oh boy, where is that? I think I lost it. No, I didn't lose it. Okay, so one of the most pivotal moments in this ongoing intervention that is taking place right now by the Galactic Alliance occurred during a dramatic flyover of the Capitol building in Washington. So apparently, it's not our own military aircraft that was, back engineered by the military industrial complex, right, which has been working for the cabal. And they're definitely not Space Force, because Space Force wouldn't do that in the open, right? And they're definitely not negative ETs, because a lot of the negative ETs have been escorted out of our solar system. So it was actually the Pleiadians. It was actually the Pleiadians that were hovering over the state capitol. Okay, so this event was orchestrated by Commander Hatan, Hatonn, Hatan, the Pleiadian Star League Enterprise. And he's also a revered figure within the Galactic Alliance and a key member of the Ashdar Command. So he was the one that orchestrated this flyover. But again, this isn't something that happened also in other parts of the world, not just in the state capital. Well, all right. For whatever reason, they don't want me to give this report. I keep losing the transmission. One second, guys. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going. All right, so the flyover. So the Ashdar Command, for those that didn't know, the Ashdar Command is a collective of beings from various star systems who work under divine law to ensure peace and order in our galaxy. That's who they are. So the commander that orchestrated the flyover over the state capitol the last few days is part of this organization. Okay, the flyover was a clear and deliberate message to the Earth's leaders. Well, let's just say those that are clones, those that are robots, particularly the remnants of these families that have been ruling the world, which are, again, they're all kind of like androids, that their era of unchecked power and manipulation is coming to an end. So the Capitol flyover was a galactic declaration from the Galactic Alliance, pretty much letting them know that there will be no missile launch, that there will be no nuclear war on this planet, okay? The sightings of advanced craft over Washington, D.C. was no coincidence. It was an operation, guys. It was an operation by the Galactic Alliance that meticulously planned to demonstrate their advanced technological superiority, right? And their peaceful yet firm resolve to intervene in Earth's affairs if necessary. So why would they intervene in Earth's affairs? Well, because what happens here has utter repercussions all throughout the universe, right? It's called the butterfly effect. Go ahead and look up the butterfly effect. Everything's interconnected. We live in a holistic, integrated cosmos, right? What happens here affects the whole universe. Not to mention, I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. Earth is the most important planet in the multiverse, okay? So there was a lot of eyewitness accounts that described this luminous pulsating craft silently maneuvered in formation that completely dispel all of the stuff that mainstream media is pushing that I read earlier, right? That defy human engineering, of course. These crafts emit energies that resonate with unlockers, creating an undeniable sense of calm in Aoi. So the location over the flyover, the Capitol Hill, was very symbolic, okay? As a center of governance and power, it served as a direct address to those with the halls of power who still align with cabal interest. Now, the message was clear. I think they got it. All right. I think they got it because also yesterday I heard through the geopolitical grapevine that the guy from Ukraine is actually surrendering so that there will be no war against Russia anymore. All of that, my friends, was orchestrated by the White Hats, by the way. And I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, right? So, anyways, so let me continue here. So, as a center of governance, it served as a direct address to those with the halls of power who are still aligning with the cabal's interests. This message from the Pleiadian Star League Enterprise, who was at the head, Commander Georges Sedis Hatan, was clear, right? That they are going to take action, that they have been given permission by the Greater Galactic Council, which is located in Sirius B to be exact, and that any attempts to escalate war, particularly through the use of nuclear weapons, will be met with intervention. There you guys have it. Any attempt to escalate war, particularly through the use of nuclear weapons, will be met with intervention, right? We have nothing to worry about, guys. We have nothing to worry about. Commander Hayton, a trusted emissary of the Pleiadian civilization of the star system of Ezra, played a central role in the mission. So the Pleiadians, known for their wisdom and commitment to peace, have long been involved in guiding Earth's spiritual awakening. For those that have taken my course, when you study the Old Testament and you read about how these physical angels would literally meet with Abraham's family and have, lunch or dinner with Abraham and Sarah, or that would guide the Israelites. Okay, so they were actually the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians were the angels in the Bible, right? for those that have taken my course, you know this information. So through telepathic communications and physical sightings, Commander Hatan and the Ashtar Command conveyed that humanity stands at a crossroad. Okay, the choice is clear: align with the higher vibrational path of unity and ascension, or continue down a destructive path that will no longer be permitted by universal law. All right, so basically, they have given us a choice that we either align, right, with the higher vibrational path that honors the universal law, right, of unity, consciousness, brotherhood, sisterhood, peace, balance, or we continue down a destructive path that no longer will be permitted. But the whole point is that we still have free will, okay? So that's what they want me to let you guys know. We still have free will. It is through your own beliefs and your own thoughts and your own emotions that you guys are going to end up in the positive timeline, okay? So that's why I always say we are in the positive timeline, because like attracts like, right? So that's why we're here. So why did the Galactic Alliance intervene? It's the question that most people have. Well, it's very important because Earth is the most important planet in the multiverse, okay? If you guys knew how important this Earth is, it is the masterpiece, the grand jewel of all of God's creations, okay? So the Galactic Alliance intervention was not a violation of the Earth. They did not violate prime directives, right? Or our free will, but rather an enforcement. I guess I need my glasses. Enforcement of cosmic law. That's all it was, okay? Nuclear weapons, by their very nature, have ramifications that extend far beyond Earth. The detonation of these weapons disrupts the fabric of space-time, causing ripples across dimensions and threatening neighboring civilizations. The Cabal's recent escalation of war, marked by attempts to provoke large-scale conflicts, prompted the Alliance to act decisively. Now, this intervention is not just preventing destruction, it is also about guiding humanity towards a higher state of consciousness. The Alliance that fear and chaos recognizes, this alliance, which is a collaboration by the White Hats and the Galactic Alliance, recognizes that fear and chaos that was perpetuated by the Cabal has kept us, of course, in a state of spiritual dormancy, right? Where we're like spiritually asleep. So by stepping into this and intervening by preventing nuclear conflict, the Galactic Alliance is actually creating the conditions necessary for humanity to rise above the fear and embrace its divine potential. I do want to welcome all 1,200 people, 1,600 people that are in the house. Thank you so much for being here. There is more, guys. There is more. All right. I'm just looking at the chat. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. So apparently they want me to let you guys know that there's going to be more sightings. There's going to be an increase of sightings in the next few months. And it's kind of cool because all of this is going to lead to a disclosure once Trump and the White Hats come to power. It's going to definitely be a global renaissance, right? The Great Awakening. So this flyover over the Capitol is only the beginning, guys. This is only the beginning, all right? They're not going to wait for the Congress or for government to reveal. If they have to have sightings, that's actually going to work with the disclosure that the White Hats are about to give in January. So that's going to be very fascinating. So the Galactic Alliance has indicated that there will be more sightings to their craft in the coming months, okay? Especially as we move into 2025. These sightings will occur in key locations around the globe, aimed at awakening humanity to their presence and mission. So unlike the clandestine operations of the Cabal, these sightings will be unmistakable and ambiguous, leaving no room for misinterpretation. Governments, once complicit in covering up extraterrestrial encounters, are being pressured to disclose the truth. Leaked documents, whistleblower testimonies, and undeniable footage are gradually breaking the veil of secrecy. This growing transparency is not coincidental, but part of the Alliance and, of course, the Earth allies' strategy to prepare humanity for open contact. I talked about this, that we are preparing for something to take place where we're going to have some open contact by 2026, I believe. So the sight of advanced craft in the skies will serve as a catalyst for collective awakening, reminding humanity that it is not alone, right? We are not alone in the universe, and that it is a part of a greater cosmic family. Wow, that's what I said in my book, Our Cosmic Origin, that we are part of a greater cosmic family. So they're just reminding us, okay? So what is the role of humanity in this mission? Well, with the Galactic Alliance that is committed to preventing nuclear war, right? They could only help as much as they can, but we also have to make that choice, right? Not us, but the unawakened. The unawakened have to awaken. We have to reach critical mass. They want at least 10% of the population snapping out of their hypnosis, right? Before we could even initiate any first contact. So the Alliance is committed to preventing nuclear war and dismantling the Cabal's influence. So humanity also plays a huge role in this, right? This is a co-creative process requiring individuals to awaken to their higher purpose and take responsibility for their role in shaping Earth's future. So the Alliance presence, as well as the Galactic Alliance, is a reminder of humanity's potential to transcend its limitations and align with the universal principles of love and peace. Now, the Galactic Alliance intervention also represents a turning point in Earth's history, right? In no other time of our history were they able to intervene as much as now. Why? Because we are ending so many cycles beyond a 2,160, which is a zodiac year, right? We're ending a 5,134 cycle, which is an epoch, right? One age, 5,000 years. Each age is an epoch. And then we're also ending a 25,000 year cycle, which is, again, the reason why they're intervening now. So through actions like the Capital flyover led by Commander Hayton, they have sent an unmistakable message to the Earth's government and the machine that is in control of what remains of the cabal. So the age of war and destruction is over, apparently, guys. As sightings increase, and they will continue to increase as we go into 2025, they want me to let you guys know that. So you guys might be witnessing some of the Galactic Alliance fleets. I almost said Federation fleets. Galactic Alliance fleets. So as these sightings increase and the truth about extraterrestrial involvement comes to light, humanity is being invited to step into a new era of consciousness, right? We are ready to graduate. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back. we're like so close, just like maybe a couple of years away from joining the galactic community. It sounds like it. So the promise of a nuclear-free future, is not just a safeguard for the Earth, but a profound opportunity for humans to ascend to its rightful place among the stars. So the question remains, will humanity rise to this moment, right? Well, he wants me to let you guys know that the answer is between each and every single one of us. All right, so that was my message from Commander Valiant, no, not Commander Valiant Thor, Commander Hatan, Sirius Georges of the Pleiadian Star League Enterprise. So I do want to remind you guys that right now I'm having a holiday special. Once again, my classes are $100 for our Cosmic Origin and only $150 for Ascension Basics. So if you guys feel like you guys want to support me, a lot of people ask me, how can we support you? I don't take donations, but I do love to exchange knowledge by taking my class. It'll be an even exchange. You guys take my class and I will give you guys tons of knowledge and information and techniques as well. So with that in mind, guys, I do have a new class that I've never taught before that is also in the making. And that class is not going to be out till January, though. And that is the Ascension 2.0. Ascension 2.0. In fact, all my classes begin in January. But if you guys sign up now, the next few days, it will really help me out for the holidays. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Times are rough for everybody. I don't have a second job. This is the only thing I do is write, get information and report it to you guys. And then of course go live and, interviews and so on and so forth. So my life is really just about gathering information and then sharing it with the public. So that's how I make my living. So if you guys want to take my class, only $100 for our Cosmic Origin and $150 for Ascension Basics. And with that in mind, I will be taking some questions now. So I'm going to start with this one from Frank. Oh, he's just giving me a super chat. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that, brother. That was so generous of you. I would love to, but my toddler is demanding I won't be able to pay attention in this class. This is what Andromeda Daisy is saying. No worries, Andromeda Daisy. No worries. It's all good. What is the difference between a dimension and a realm? This is a good question from Kathy Kurg. I believe it's Kurg. Kathy Kurg. Well, okay, so the best way to describe it is that there are realms that have different levels of reality. Like each realm is divided into different densities, right? So there's a total of 3 overall realms. You have the spiritual luminous realm, right? Which is what we call eternity. You have the mental realm, which is what corresponds to the ethers. And then you have the realm of physicality, what we call the material realm. There we go, the material realm, which is everything in the manifest world, okay? Time, space, you name it. Within each of those realms, right? Matter, the material realm, the etheric mental realm, and the spiritually luminous eternal realm, There are also subdegrees and different densities. Now, dimensions are different. Dimensions, there is a total of eight. I believe that there is a total of 18 dimensions. There are only 3 realms. Each realm is divided into different sublevels and densities, right? But there's about 18 dimensions. So that is the difference. Greetings. I figured out. Okay, so first of all, I got disconnected again. I don't know if it's my laptop, my monitor. I don't know what it is, guys, but I was booted off once again, but I was able to come back to the live. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you guys could hear me? Because I would hate to to start all over. Am I on? Can you guys give me a thumbs up? Yes? No? Yes? Okay, yes, I see yes. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So, as I was saying, there are a total of 18 dimensions that comprise the multiverse or the omni structure of the multiverse, but there are only 3 realms. 3 realms. Those are the spiritual realms, the mental etheric realms, and the material physical realms. Okay. I just hope I don't get booted out again. But you know what, guys? Even if I do, I figured out a way to continue the live and not have to start a new live, which is good, right? I'm learning something new every day. All right, I do have another super chat from Mark Thuldium or Thudium. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate your super chat. He says, "We all want you to succeed. Press onward. Merry Christmas." Ah, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I think I've already answered that. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, this was when I was cut off. I apologize. So I did have a super chat from Galactic Aussie. Galactic Aussie's in the house. She's asking, will country flags be flown and have patriotic meaning on the 50th Earth? Patriotic meaning on the 50th Earth, or are they only a 3D symbol? That's a good question. Will country flags be flown and have patriotic meaning on the 50th Earth? Okay, so let me explain this. Okay, so Earth governments, right? They only exist. Let's just say this: governments are only a 3D thing. In the 5th dimensional realm, there are no governments. They are what we call councils, right? We are going to be part of those councils. So, like I mentioned before, Mr. T, where's my white hat? Mr. T is going to be the last president. After Mr. T, we're going to become part of a galactic community, and we're going to resort back to having councils. So no, yes, we will be patriots of our Earth. We're going to be Earth patriots, right? But we are going to be one planetary family. It's not going to be. It's going to be like other advanced civilizations, where we're going to honor and respect every culture, but we're all going to be one humanity at that point. It's not going to be Russians and Americans. It's not, it's going to be one human family, represented, of course, by the different cultures and races, of course. So that's what's going to be happening. Ishmael, explain what will happen to the DNA of plants and animals. This is a question from Ron Safrid. Welcome, Ron. And the best way to answer your question is their DNA is also changing. That's right. The animals and the plants are coming with us. The plants and the animals are also going through a genetic mutation. In fact, let me put it this way: the entire solar system is ascending. The entire solar system is going through this mutation. How's that? So, yeah. That's a good question, though. Thank you for asking. This is a question from Kimmy Kinseth. Welcome, Kimmy. She says, Ishmael, will we have the house we are in the fourth dimension? Will we have the house we are in the fourth dimension? Well, who knows? Each and every single one of you guys, it's going to be giving an opportunity to get funded for your humanitarian project. So you might use that money to get yourself a nicer, bigger home. So who knows? But that's only, of course, if you're going to the fourth T. If you're going to the fifth T, it's going to be different. It's going to be magical. You're going to be living in a house made out of natural forest and vines and living wood, and crystals, of course. This is a question from Terry. She says, Ishmael, will we have councils in the positive fourth dimension? Yes. No, in the positive fourth dimension, we're going to have 22 federated regions. And I actually revealed that in the first edition of our Cosmic Origin. So we're going to be part of the Jabukas Federation. So we're going to be 22 federated regions. So all the countries that exist right now are all going to conglomerate and dissolve into 22 federated regions as we become part of the galactic community. So we're going to be called the Star Nation of planet Earth. Pretty much. We're going to be known as the Star Nation at that point with 22 federated regions. Andromeda Daisy saying, what if we don't want to come back after ascension? Well, free will always be honored, guys. Free will always be honored. So you don't have to come back. You don't have to ever descend again. That's going to be your choice. This is the last time. I mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. This is the last time that the Earth is going to experience the Dark Ages. So we don't have to worry about coming back to a hard life in the 3D matrix. Aaron is asking if I could please make my woman's apparel in pink. You must be talking about the Galactic Jedi wear that I offer through my website. Sure, I could request that. Let's see if I could do that for you. No problem. But again, guys, if you guys are interested in ordering Galactic Jedi hoodies, hats, or whatever, go to my website or cosmicorigin.com and just slide until you get to the hoodies. Let me see. Thank you, Ishmael. You don't want to descend, says Carol Crawford. Good for you. Is there anything sold in 6D New Earth? No. Okay, 6D New Earth is all about energy exchange. There is no currency. There is no currency because your body is so crystalline, so different that you don't need physical things anymore. In 6D is like it's up to you if you guys want to have physical things. In fact, you guys are going to be able to, through the decreasing of your frequency, you're going to be able to come into lower densities. But 6D is beyond 5D. At that point, you don't need a house. You don't need to sleep anymore. You're constantly radiating and connected with, the unified field known as Source. So there is no need for anything in the 6D. It is beyond the 5D. Diana77 says she ordered her hoodie. Nice. Susan Marsh is asking me, Ishmael, will we still keep our auras? Absolutely. In fact, as we go from carbon-based to crystalline, our auras are going to increase. Our energy biofield is going to increase. Remember, guys, the ascension is about becoming less dense and more light. We're still going to be physical, but it's going to be of a lesser density. Is there a heaven with mansions as mentioned in the Bible? Is the Bible true? This is a question from Lydia. Is it Fugia? Lydia L. Fuja. Is there a heaven with mansions, as mentioned in the Bible? Well, everything in the Bible is a metaphor. It is a metaphor describing certain things. So when they talk about the many mansions, they're talking about the many, you could say, the many different types of different dimensions. That's the best way to say it. Each mansion in the Bible is a dimension. There's different layers of heaven. To give you guys an example, so when we go into the fifth dimensional earth, that's heaven. That's where we are all part of unity consciousness, Christ consciousness. We live in cooperation, in union, in brotherhood and sisterhood. Everything is in harmony. Sixth dimension just becomes more of that. Seven dimensions, it becomes we become a social memory complex. We become a unimind or part of a unimind. Then we go into the eighth dimension, where our planetary unimind, our collective unimind, decides to become a planetary consciousness, right? That's in the eighth dimension, which corresponds to the eighth chakra. And then we go into the ninth dimension, where our collective unimind wants to become a solar system. And then we go into the 10th dimension, where our collective unimind wants to become a nebula. And then finally, we go into the 11th dimension, where our collective unimind wants to become a galaxy. And so those are different realms of living in unity consciousness, which is what the Bible calls the many mansions. Thank you, Stuart Williams. I appreciate your super chat. Did I stick to my carnivore diet for Thanksgiving, says Randy Sullivan. No, I actually had turkey. But I don't just eat red meat. I eat a little bit of everything. I eat chicken, I eat salmon, I had turkey during Thanksgiving, and yes, red meat. So I eat a little bit of every meat. I don't just stick to one thing. Rick Lee is asking me, what is something that we will do in the 60? Well, based on my memories, in the 60, we're still physical, but it's very, very subtle, very like almost like light body physical. Um, in the 60, you could literally become anything you want to become. That's the best way to describe it. You could manifest anything at will. You are literally one with the unified force. You're connected to the quantum realm. You are literally, your mind is in unison with the 0 point energy. So you could create what you want at will. That's the best way to describe living in the 60. It's magical. So if you're craving a chocolate ice cream or a chocolate cake, you just think it and it's there. Beam. And you eat it. And then, of course, what you do is you condense your body so you can, bite into it and really enjoy that flavor. So in 60, you could like literally play anything, any role, become anything, anyone, and then go back to yourself. So yeah, 60 is it's beyond anything. But that's 60, guys. We're still trying to get into 5D here. This is a good question from Susan. Susan Maraskabef, I believe. She says, will Mr. T still use the end even though Zelensky is giving up? Will Mr. T still use the end? I don't know what that means, but I think what you're trying to say is, will he still get a Nobel Peace Prize? Well, yes. In fact, it was Mr. T who had a call with Zelensky and Elon Musk. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I mentioned this during my White Hat Monday, And they're the ones who pretty much told them, hey, you have to surrender. So all of this stuff that we've been hearing in the media, like I said, guys, it's all false information. Okay, everything that we've been hearing about this nuclear scare event is not true. I told you guys that that was what they were going to push in order to generate mass fear, right? If they make enough people think that, but it's not working because we choose what we want to believe, right? This is cool. This is a question. Okay, so this question kind of dovetails with the question I just answered. A lot of you guys think the same. You guys are like thinking on the same wavelength. You guys have like similar questions, but you guys word it differently. I love that. You guys are all here connected. You guys are already building this unimind. Okay, so Ishmael, when we dream and create entire worlds by just thinking it, which is what I just said, that happens in the 6D, right? Are we basically experiencing base reality in a sort? I feel our entire universe we're in is basically a dream, creator's dream. Yes, it is. The way the multiverse is structured is through layers. So we have different layers, you could say, right? Each layer, believe it or not, is a simulation, or what we call a different, uh, like a dream, pretty much. It's not base reality. All right, base reality is all the way to the 12D. So anything below the 12D is a simulation, but it's a living organic simulation, guys. It's not a computer cybernetic one, all right? We are not Sims. We're real people with souls. I don't think the Sims have souls, right? When you play the game, I don't think Brothers, when you play Mario Brothers, I don't think Luigi has a soul. You know what I mean? So we have souls. There's a difference between a living organic simulation and a computerized cybernetic simulation. So to be honest with you, yes, we are living in the 3D is the lowest. Okay, this is where things are almost like computerized. The next stage, the next level beyond the 3D is what the transhumanist agenda is all about, right? Bridging the biological or digital convergence and bringing people into the cybernetic computerized reality, right? Think about it. But that's not going to happen in our reality, right? That's a different timeline. So to answer your question is base reality is 12 dimensions and up because that's corresponds to the realms of eternity. The only thing that is real is eternity. All right, let me repeat that again. The only thing that is real is eternity. Anything else other than eternity, it's just an experiment in time and space. Okay, that's all it is. It's an experiment. Let's see. Hmm. I'm looking for a. I mean, all these questions are great, but I feel like I've already answered most of these. So I'm looking for a new question. Can anyone detect NPCs right away? Well, I mentioned this before. They don't have an energy signature because they don't have a biofield or an aura. So that's one way. If you're an intuitive empath and you are in front of an NPC or you encounter an NPC, there is no aura, there is no energy, nothing. You don't feel anything from that person. It's like a cold, empty shell. You know, a lot of you keep asking me what happens to people that are using drugs. Are they still going to ascend? What happens to those that have addictions? I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't know. You know, because there are a lot of people in our spiritual community or spiritual people that take cannabis they're not addicted to it, but they take it for spiritual reasons, So I don't know their situation. I don't know if they're, taking mushrooms or plant medicine for spiritual reasons or not. So it all depends. But as far as like legal drugs or like hard drugs, like, I really don't know. I really couldn't tell you that. I think we're all going to find out. Let's see. Drusilla Morello has a question. She says, I'm having a tough time quitting cigarettes. In other words, am I stuck? No, not necessarily. Just because you guys have, some people like to drink, just some people like to smoke cigarettes. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, okay? Most people, no, not most, some people that are spiritually advanced, because it's very hard for them to adapt in this 3D level of reality with this current limited avatar. It's easier for them to smoke cigarettes or have occasional drinks just to feel grounded. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it doesn't mean that they're bad people, okay? It doesn't mean that they're bad people. So, yeah, if you have, if you're a person who smokes still, who you smoke cigarettes and you feel like you're not going to ascend, don't think that way, okay? Don't think that way. It's not going to prevent you from ascending because you are here as a volunteer, first of all. You're doing the work, right? You're a good person. You're awakened. So, yes, you are going to ascend. In fact, it's actually going to be better when the solar flash takes place. You will no longer have those cravings. You will no longer need the wine every now and then. You will no longer need to smoke, a few times a day. You will no longer have the cravings for whatever it is that you're addicted to because your body is modifying, your body's becoming different. Okay? That's the best way to describe that. Now, Rohini has a question. Thank you for the super chat, Rohini. Hi, Ishmael. When will medbeds roll out in Australia? Again, guys, I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't have an exact date or time. I have no clue. But it looks like, they, from behind the scenes, they are being prepared or being produced in mass proportion, which is a good thing. Ishmael, when will your interview with Charlie Ward view? I've already had 3 interviews on the Charlie Ward show. Yeah, the Insiders Club. That's what you're referring to. Which reminds me, I have another interview with them coming up in the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to be on my 4th interview in the Insiders Club with Charlie Ward. But the last one did air about a month ago, just to let you guys know. Yes, that is true. I have no information on Australia. Oh, this is a good question. Is Hatan and Atan the same? And will you please talk about last night's timeline jumps? All right, so to answer the first part of your question, Hatan, also known as Georges Sedes Hatan, who is the commander of the Pleiadian Star League, is also known as Aton. Aton is actually his higher self, Aton. About the last night's timeline jumps. Well, Randy, the timeline jumps are taking place every second of the day. We are constantly shifting timelines through the vibrational frequencies that generate from our thoughts and our emotions and our constant beliefs, how we choose to believe and feel and think. So right now, like I said, there are like an infinite amount of Earth timelines that are all coexisting simultaneously. And the positive timeline is real as much as the negative timeline is real. But depending on your thoughts and emotions, it'll determine where you lean towards, So that's why everyone here, I know you guys are positive, you guys don't buy into the doomsday porn, fear, and all that stuff, or fear porn, I'm sorry. So you guys are all part of the positive timeline, but because you guys made that choice to go into the positive timeline. But very soon, all of those parallel Earth realities are going to collapse into only 3 timelines. And that's going to happen very soon. Okay. That's the best way to answer that. I just dropped something. 1 second, guys. Alrighty. If I don't say nothing, it's because I'm also reading the chat. I can't help but to read what you guys are saying to one another. Be the light. Be the light is in the house. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for all you do. Having strange body sensations. My cells feel like they are vibrating. Having a tough time staying connected to here and now. What could be? Do you have any advice? Sounds like you are shifting into your fifth dimensional avatar. So the best thing to do is just, take it easy and just be in the presence. That's it. Just be in the presence and enjoy the experience of ascension. That's the best way to answer your question. But yeah, so the fact that you're having a hard time staying connected, try to ground yourself more, right? By becoming the tree and seeing the roots go deep into the earth. So try to practice more grounding. So that, because what you're doing is you're shifting into your fifth dimensional light body avatar, but you want to integrate that with your physical body. You want to, anchor it into the earth through your chakras. Will heaven look similar to the way the planet looked in Avatar? This is a question from Rayleigh Lightstar. Rayleigh Lightstar. Welcome, Rayleigh. Well, in the 50 realm, yes, but in the 60 realm is going to look different. In each realm, heaven looks a little different. But yes, there's definitely we're definitely going to see, you could say, a Garden of Eden type atmosphere, or environment like we saw in the movie Avatar, in the fifth dimensional Earth. Absolutely. I need a second pair of glasses for Christmas. Thanks. Thanks. You know what? You're right. I do. I always forget my glasses in the car because I do use them when I'm driving. So I always forget them in the car. Oh, this is a good one. This is a question I've never even heard about. Ishmael, do you have any answers on the Hindu people, and why do they know so much when it comes to the human body mind connection? And they even had an understanding this of the universe and evolution way before we actually knew. That is true, because the Hindu culture was actually derived, was planted by the Vegans of the Lyra constellation, the blue people. So that's why the Hindu gods were blue skinned, because they came from Vega. They were Lyrans from Vega, which um, uh, helped in the establishment of that civilization. But yeah, they were blue skinned. No, so to answer your question, the way I see things is that the Hindus or the people from India were not as corrupted by the Western cabal that originated in Babylon. Okay, the Hindu people, the people from India, were more about keeping the original tradition intact, the original knowledge intact. They weren't as infiltrated by the Babylonian forces as much as was the Occidental Western world. That's the best way to answer your question. And that's why the people of India have always been more spiritual, and than the Western world. And they've always kept their information more preserved and intact, you could say. The chat is going so fast. Let's see if I could pinpoint one question. All I'm seeing is a bunch of questions. They're all like popping in front of me. Let's see. A few times I felt massive vibrations over my entire body. What does that mean? That means that you are mutating, that you are shifting, that you are ascending. Again, vibrations, electricity, feeling like you want to levitate are all indicators that you guys are ascending, which is a good thing. I saw another good question. I just can't find it. Let's see. When we have light codes coming in and this comes in excess with the solar flares bombarding us, can you explain where the codes go into? The codes are actually going into our cells. This is a question for Monica. The codes are actually going into our cells when we are receiving these light codes coming in from the sun flares. So they're going into our cells because our cells are living entities at a very micro level of reality. And believe it or not, they're constantly communicating with the sun. So the light codes are actually filling up the cells with more light energy vibration in order to allow for the crystalline genetics to come online again. Yes, Hatan, and Atan are the same being. Is Anu a fractal of Jesus? Jesus' higher self, then Anu in creation? They come from the same lineage. Anu was a direct descendant of the original 12 houses or 12 royal houses of Lyra. And so, yes, you could say that the galactic royal blood is all part of one big oversoul. So, in that regard, yes, Jesus is the higher self of the entire oversoul. So, Anu, Zeus, and Lil, they're all descendants of Jesus. In other words, absolutely. Let's see. I have so many good questions. I don't even know which one to answer first. Oh boy. Ishmael, can you explain why the Brunson case is so important to the changes expected? I am from Utah and familiar with the case. I may have missed something here. Well, I have to be careful with what I say, but just know that there is evidence regarding the 2020 ELECTION and what really took place. So that's what the Brunson case is all about. So if that comes, if the Brunson case is revealed to the general public, that's it. You know, people are going to know the truth about what really happened in 2020. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's conversation and update, and I will see you guys on Monday night for a Y Hat update. May the God Force be with you all, and I will see you guys in 2 nights.